Okay, we have here a fretted violin. This is using a product called the Fiddle Fretter. I was just curious to try this because, well, it was cheap, and I was just curious to try on my cheap eBay $50 violin I have as a spare. It comes in a pack of two. You have like this stealth one and this other one. They're just stickers, and they just stick on and they come off. Apparently, I haven't tried that. But I was interested to try them for chord work, playing jazz chords, which I'll talk about later. But first of all, let's try a few different things. So this video I made because I was reading a discussion on violinist.com, and the question was raised, why don't violins have frets? And there were some responses, and there were things like, well, you can't slide, you can't do the subtle nuances of intonation, you can't do vibrato, you can't wail was another one. So I'm just going to dispel all of those myths. So first of all, slides. Can you do a slide? You can slide. Even if I really push down, can't really hear a chromatic stepwise movement. And here's why. On this particular one, you can see my finger is actually stopping it beyond the fret. So it's still the pad of the finger that's actually stopping the note. Okay, so that's that one. Can you slide? You can still slide. And I'll talk about other fretted violins later because I know they're different. The other thing was, what was the other thing? Vibrato. You can still do vibrato. I'll try and play classic. I'm not a classical violinist, but one used to be long ago. So. So you can vibrato. What's the other thing? You can't wail. So I guess that means I go. And the other thing is that you can't. The other misconception is that you can't play out of tune. Well, you can still play out of tune. If I play this, for instance, if you were like an Eastern player or something, you wanted to play with quarter tones, you still can. Okay, so I think that's about covered it. Oh yeah, the other thing was that they would get so close at the top it would be kind of crazy. Well, they are close together, aren't they? That's kind of like a mandolin. Mandolin, it's kind of got pretty much the same. Well, of course it's the same. It's the same spacing, and let's just try and play up there then. It's fine. I mean, does it feel awkward under the fingers? The thing is, up here you shouldn't need to push that down that hard anyway. I mean, I can just touch the string and I can. You can play up there anyway without much pressure. So that's all right. So what are the advantages of frets? Well, one of the things I think would be very useful for, I mean, like for instance, I've had some mature students who have got very busy lives, and they want quick access to the instrument, and it could save them years, really. I mean, you can find the notes quite easily that way, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, is it for everyone? Is it for serious students? Probably not. I mean, I don't think it'd do a lot of harm if you were learning on this and a fretless instrument. I certainly found having a mandolin early on helped me a lot, and one of the reasons is because you have this kind of visual layout, and when you come to play fretless, you kind of have that chromatic visual layout in your mind. It's also quite good for teaching, because I can say to a student, look, here's high 2, here's low 2, and I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you can show visually where the half steps are. So I think that's a good thing. I got it mainly, I was interested to develop playing jazz chords to deepen my understanding on the instrument, perhaps to accompany. I mean, there is that possibility too. But it's certainly a lot easier than playing on a fretless instrument. And let me just demonstrate. Go off my Benema. Yeah. Yeah. So it's possible, and you know, that's virtually impossible on a fretless instrument. Good practice though, but you know, it's not quite the same. So that's one of the big advantages, I think. And is it for everyone? No, it's not for everyone. I don't think that. You know, if you're a symphony orchestra player or soloist, orchestral soloist or something, you know, I'm sure you'd feel very self-conscious with these on. But you know, if it doesn't sound any different, and if someone's an amateur or something, they want to play violin, but you know, not everyone's going to be totally dedicated and want to spend years developing their intonation. So I think it opens up the instrument to a lot of people. So I think they have a right to exist in their own right, and I don't think they're any threat to the violin world or anything like that. I think it's not going to take away fretless instruments. So there it is. This is the Fiddle Fretter. I got these on eBay. I think there's a website too. Does it say? No, I don't know. Yeah, you just loosen the strings and you stick it on. It's worth experimenting with. It's been very interesting.